Well, the youth wing of the governing All Progressives Congress APC is demanding that only youths below the age of 35 should be allowed to contest for councillorship positions in the country. It also wants only those below 45 years to be allowed to contest local government elections in Nigeria. APC National Youth Leader and Presidential Assistant Ismaeel Ahmed, while reading a communique of its National Youth Conference, also demanded a reduction in the fees of nomination forms for young people aspiring for political offices.
The age of 35 as the ceiling or below for all councillorship seats to be contested for under the party. We have 8,812 words. Young people of this party and by the party in general. As you are all aware, the purpose of our conference is to prove... Okay, mine will be here. That's fine. So are we ready?
All right.
We have Ismaeel Ahmed, the All Progressives Congress National Youth Leader and Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Social Investment Program. Thank you so much for joining us. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so you had this conference, one-day conference of the Progressives Youth in Abuja last week, where you made some key demands. Yeah. Tell us, number one, why that conference was, highly needed, and some of these demands that you make, especially the low-hanging fruits, if you like.
Well, first of all, I think it's a tried knowledge that young people constitute the bulk of the population of the country. Between ages 18 to 50, you're talking about almost 50% of the population, almost 70% of the population. And even in our party, the APC, in 2013, when we did the first round of registration of our party membership at the beginning of the party, we had about 12 to 13 million members, 8 million of which are young people. Now we just finished another round of registration with about close to 40 million people. Almost 60 to 65% of those people who registered are young people. So it only behooves on us to have a conversation. And no political party, since the re-advent of democracy in 1999, had an opportunity, even the PDP that had been in government for 16 years prior to our coming, never had a conference of young people of their party to come together and basically discuss the future of the party. Because there's this way that people who are saddled with responsibility of leadership in political parties and in government carry on as if it is their interest and what they want alone that drives the motive and the character of a political party. APC is different. The president and the party chairman leadership gave us the opportunity to bring in young progressives from all across the country to begin a conversation about the future of a political party that needs to grow outside this.
Let me take it from there. The youth, the young ones. I am sure you're aware that you don't get anything on a platter of gold.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. But you're asking, from what I have read, you want councillorship forms to be sold to those 35 and below, and those below 45 LGA chairmanship. Why?
Well, because
you're actually asking for 70% reduction in nomination fees.
No, not 70% reduction, but 70% of the nomination fees.
Oh, 70%
of the nomination fees at the minimum. So, for example, if the nomination fee is 1 million naira, we could ask young people to pay 700,000.
Do they have that?
Oh, yeah. Well, we need 700. For you to be able to run for office, you must be able to muscle some sort of. But what it does is actually it encourages young people to participate. In the process. That's what is important.
That's a huge. You'll answer the question, but let me just add that to it. I mean, I'm talking about the 35, 45. You got that question. But the fact of people have talked about the seemingly, I don't know whether to use the word massive or exorbitant fees that have to be paid. For example, in one election in Anambra State, people were made to pay 22 million to buy a form which was not going to be refunded to them.
So in this case, if a young Nigerian... Let me land. We have to go on break.
We'll get back.
Yes. Do stay with us. There's more to come.
still watching Newsnight, and we still have Ismaeel Ahmed here with us. I did ask you before we took that break. 35, you're asking for councillorship, below 35 below, 45 below for LGA chairmanship, and then I added to it the fact of the high fees that get to be paid to be elected.
Mm-hmm.
Quite high. First of all, I think the essence of a political party is to attract people as much as possible, and there's no one to attract more than the young people. You have 8,812 words. If you slated for 35 and below, that is the biggest and most and the massive political empowerment for young people that you can ever imagine, because you're basically giving about almost 10,000 slots alone for young people at the grassroots level. That is the incubation platform for political leadership. It's from the grassroots. It's not from the top. So we think that if you give young people opportunity, right now as we speak, most councillors are young people anyways, you know, but no party has made a deliberate effort to make it a guide or a law within its system to be able to say that, look, we are slating this for people who are young, who would have an opportunity to come in at the grassroots and begin to learn the art of leadership as we go along. And for the LGA chairmanship as well, 774 of them. Beautiful proposition. Give it to young people. They have the energy, they have the zeal, because that is the closest tier of government to the people. And you need people with the energy and the mental attitude to move on and be able to do this. So that is an opportunity. And like she said, it's a low-hanging fruit for the party to do. And I'm sure the leadership of the party, president, party leadership, in their generosity and their love for young people to get involved in this game, will probably have nothing to fear for. And the issue of the high fees,
yes,
it's a real problem, because I know a lot of people spoke to me about it, not too young to run. I said that's a good law, but another law that we would want to see is not too poor to run, because I think that's not too poor to run. Absolutely. So we would have wanted to see that. So we wanted to do, as progressives, begin the conversation of giving young people an opportunity to play, because when these fees are so high, you know, and I'll tell you from the party's perspective, because I'm a leader in the party, and also I also know that political parties do need funding to be able to run their programs and their activities. And then you just don't want every Tom, Dick and Harry, because he can afford a form, to just come and crowd the whole system. That also becomes a problem.
But shouldn't there be a sifting system that can actually differentiate the boys?
But how would you feel if you give an opportunity to somebody to pay his fees and then you screen him out just because you feel in your own thinking or your perspective that he's not qualified to run? That wouldn't be right. So at some point, there's an argument for both sides. What I'm saying is that if the women, we have done a very good thing in the Progressive Party by giving the women probably free nomination forms, then the young people should get 50%.
Okay, now the concept of giving, because you keep saying that, you keep using that word, you've used that quite a number of times already in the course of our discussion. And I'm wondering, how were you able to get your foot in the door as a young person within your own political party? Were you given the opportunity, or did you seize the opportunity?
Well, I think it's both ways. And I think, let me tell you something. I think I'm not one of the people that believe that, to be fair to this country, it's not as if this country have had older people all through that have ruled this country. No, it really didn't. If you take the average age of Nigerian leaders all through from 1960 to date, it's probably between 45 and 55.
Yeah, you're right, because you actually recommend,
mostly young people.
You recommend, we have less than a minute, you recommend that under 45s should hold chairmanship seats at local government, council level.
It could be a 30-year-old person, it could be
because I'm wondering, this is the same country where a 25-year-old has actually been federal commissioner or minister, as we refer to them.
Yeah, different times.
All right, before we let you go, let me
it could still happen. Why not?
Yeah, before we let you go, let me chip in this question. I think I listened to you. It was a conference so that the vice president held, and you were talking about the political leaders and the political parties training young ones like you to come along well. That is the kind of training they give you. Let them know that you will take into the future.
Yes, I told them.
So, how far has that come?
No, I think it is going pretty well. It's just that it is mostly it is in isolation, and very few people want to do it at the massive level.
What kind of training are we talking about?
Well, not necessarily like a training, or you have to put somebody into the school, because part of the things we're demanding as well, or we are proposing to the party, is to have a progressive institute where people should be able to have a reason why they are in the Progressive Party. It has to be more than just a card carrying a membership of a party. It has to be something progressive about you, and the Progressive Institute teaches that. But look, what I keep saying, and I say it to our leaders all the time, to give young people opportunity at leadership while you are still strong enough to be able to teach them the ropes. It's not a favor, it's not a privilege, it's a strategy. Because it's a matter of time that leadership will come to us. But how well we do as leaders depends on how well you train us while you had the opportunity to do so. So it's just a matter of time that it will come. So the Progressive Party is trying to create a pathway where there will be a mixture of the old breed with the new breed. Be able to show us we have the energy, we have the exuberance, they have the wisdom, they have the generosity. We put it together and we build a beautiful country and a beautiful
So
party.
exactly what are you doing to attract these young people? Where are you looking? You know, exactly where are you looking?
The conference
are they responding to this
Of
call?
course,
of yours?
absolutely. When we did the conference, because it was the first time it was happening, we kept saying that it was the first conference. People had no idea. People were calling us, they wanted to pay to come to a conference. They've never been to a political conference. No young person has been invited from all over the country by a party that is in government to come to a conference and sit down with the leadership of the party and have a conversation. This is the first time. It is always the first time. So it is a beginning. And the president, when we went to see him, we talked to him about it. And he's like, okay, this party truly belongs to you. It truly belongs to the future. You need to be able to come up and put yourselves together and organize yourselves in a way that we will understand that there is need for us to fuse, you know, on ideas together. And that's exactly
before we let you go. All right. What do you make of your primaries in Anambra State? It looked very messy. What do you make of it?
Hold on. I am a member of the National Working Committee of the party. I can't comment on it until I receive an official report.
All right, we'll leave it there.
Thank you very much. Ismaeel Ahmed, APC National Youth Leader. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.